Hey y'all, Tanny Cooks here, and today I'm going to show you how to make the perfect bratwurst sausage on your stovetop, and we're going to sear it up with beer and some peppers and onions. It's going to make for a fabulous lunch, so let's get to cooking. To start off with, I have a couple of packs of my Brats. I have Johnsonville Original and Beer Brats. I have some hot dog buns, Ballpark, and I have some beer. This is a Killian's beer, George Killian. My uncle used to buy this years ago. And then I got a lot of bell peppers and onions that I'm going to saute up for this meal. So if we take a look at the nutrition facts, you will see that these Brats are full of fat and sodium, and that's okay because I don't eat these every day. We eat these maybe a couple of times during the summertime. It's a special treat instead of a hot dog, and so I'm not too concerned about these nutrition facts. So to start off with, I'm going to wash my bell peppers with white vinegar. Of course, you could also use baking soda or a fruit veggie wash. I'm going to chop up 3 onions. So I'm going to give them a slice similar to the size I'm going to do my bell peppers. So those are my 3 onions. Use the amount that you like. So my peppers have finished soaking. I rinse them off. And now this is the way I'm going to cut them to see if I get less seeds. I turn it upside down and then I cut a slit into each groove in the bell pepper. And look, when I opened it, not many seeds in the piece that I pulled off. So I'm just going to continue peeling it, kind of like an onion or flour. And you'll notice each piece doesn't have a lot of seeds. And then I just pull out the heart of the seeds. There are a few different ways to cut bell peppers. Just do whatever way gets the job done for you. So with this, I'm going to use my knife to cut out some of that white membrane before I go ahead and slice it up. And I'm just doing small slices so that it's easy to eat on my bratwurst. Now that I have all my peppers chopped up and my onions, I'm placing my bratwurst in a pan. Notice that this fry pan kind of has high sides, so I am drizzling olive oil on it. You can add your olive oil first, but now I'm adding the beer, and this is why I wanted a fry pan kind of with high walls to be sure my beer doesn't overflow. You can see it's foaming up some, but if you notice, I barely used half of the beer, so I'll add more beer later if I need to. Now that that's going to take a total of maybe 12 to 15 minutes. I have my cast iron wok that I heated up with some olive oil, and now I'm going to add my onions. You can use the neutral oil of your choice. Sesame oil would be very delicious here, or avocado oil, whatever you prefer. I like to saute my onions first. This is on a medium heat because I want them to get soft and translucent, and for my taste, it takes a little bit longer for my onions to do that than my bell peppers. So that's why I add them a few minutes first. But look at these beautifully chopped peppers. So now I'm going to add a variety of colors. If you only have one color of bell pepper, that is certainly fine. You can use whatever you have. If you don't like bell peppers, you don't have to use them. You could just use onions or none of these toppings at all if you don't want them on your bratwurst. So in my wok, I'm just going to give it a constant stir and kind of check on my meat in between, checking on my veggies. So you can see in the beer, they're starting to cook and I turn them over. I keep a close eye on them because as you can see, the beer is going to cook out and we're going to sear up these dogs as well. Now you can see where I have a hot spot on my stove. So I just make sure I shake my pan so nothing sticks. But I want to see this color on it. Now the pan in the back was the last 2 bratwursts that cooked just in water because that was my last beer. So while that's still going, I am going to add some seasonings to my veggies. Garlic powder, onion powder. Add the seasonings to your personal taste. I'm adding black pepper. I am intentionally not adding salt to the veggies because I figure my bratwursts have enough sodium in them already. So that was my personal preference for this. Now I did save some of my bell peppers to add later because I like the texture difference between having peppers that cooked a long time versus a short time. So that last little batch of bell peppers will have a bit more crunch in the final result because they haven't cooked as long. So I decided I needed a little bit more oil, so I added that. And now I'm continuing to stir. I'm using a silicone spoon with my cast iron wok. This wok is heavy, but I love it. Now look at how beautifully our sausage dogs are cooked. I'm using a meat thermometer because this is pork. I just want you guys to see that it did cook up to temperature. I cooked these for about 15 to 16 minutes just because I like to be sure my pork is really cooked. I don't do any undercooked pork. So you can see this, it hit just about 170 degrees, which is completely fine. So I'm gonna turn it over just so the second side can get a bit more color. And look at this, y'all. I added my bratwurst on top of my peppers and onions and it looks absolutely delicious. You can eat it this way if you prefer the low carb option, but for my family, I decided to pop these bad boys into some buns. So we have our bratwurst and buns, and top it how you like. I'm adding the vegetables that we just cooked. And I do have peppers and onions left over intentionally because I wanted to cook them all right now. So I put them into separate bowls to save to eat later in the week. Or you could pop these in the freezer and use them on another day. Thank you so much for watching my video.